top, I'm gonna rise up. I'm on top.
ESPN Pensacola 945 is locally owned by the ADX Communications Group. That includes News Radio 92.3 and AM 1620, Cat Country 98.7 and 1330 WEBY 99.1 FM. This means that we have the staff, the experience, and the generators to get you through the storm before, during, and after. We care, and we're ready because we're local. ESPN Pensacola 945.
ESPN Pensacola has you covered from the national and local levels. From Golick and Wingo to the Sports Drive, the Paul Feinbaum Show to Talk Football with Coach K, we have it all. It's the latest and best in sports talk radio, making us Pensacola's hometown sports network. ESPN Pensacola 94.5, also on HD Radio at HD2 98.7 WYCT, and streaming online at our website at ESPNpensacola.com.
Wings are now on Beef O'Brady's 2 for $20 deal. Wings?
Wings.
Bigger bang, same buck. Pick a starter plus 2 entrees. Like 10 of Beef's famous wings. Still $20. 2 for $20. Worth every penny.
Tower, this is Alpha Squad. Something smells mighty good up here. Who's hungry? Over.
Beef's 2 for $20. Pick a starter and 2 entrees. Like Beef's new chicken tender Parmesan skillet. Still just $20.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.
Throws up the middle. At the 40. Derek Brooks 30. Brooks to the 29. He's getting Derek Brooks all the way. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Derek Brooks, the dagger's in. We're going to win the Super Bowl.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket, and this time his name is Bubba.
Pitch on the way. Russell drives one in the air. Deep left center. That's back near the wall. It's got a chance. Grand slam. Grand slam, Addison Russell.
The new WNBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
And Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? Bama scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trent Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And these them Louisiana, Pensacola guys, they looking crazy and all that.
Morris, blocked by the tight end Paul. That opens up the door. Breaking the Cambridge tackle. To the pylon. Touchdown.
Really nice effort there by Alfred Morris, extending that ball over the goal line.
Near side ball is that big game. Doug Baldwin's got a first down. And Doug Baldwin, 93 yards, now has back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons.
Reggie Evans, and he's going to get an ovation. Guy from Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome into the Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Lab TV. I am Chad Brilliante. Glad to be with you as we broadcast, having some fun with you on this Friday evening. A lot to get to on today's show as we're going to talk a little more about what's going on right now with everything in college baseball, as well with everything going on right now after Vanderbilt taking it home. And, people were saying, oh, Michigan was the team, bro. Like, look, Vanderbilt, the best team won. And good for them. Anchors down.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball. We're going to get to more on that as well. A lot to get to on Major League Baseball with the Atlanta Braves and All-Stars, the All-Star voting, and probably the guys that you expected to see. And then the biggest America, the best American moments right there is the United States getting it done against France. And I'm not going to lie, most of the people gathering around the TVs today to watch the United States beat France probably don't know half the roster.
That's true.
But what they do know is that at the end of the day, that we beat France.
Some guy sitting in front of the TV still going, I'm still waiting for Abby Wambach to take the field. I don't know what's going on.
That we were able to win a game that the entire country of France cares more about than we do.
Yeah, Hope Solo played a great game.
Yes, people were stopping. After half the thing, I'm done with Hope Solo.
She really beat them up out there.
Yeah, that's right. But when it comes down to when you talk about what we were able to accomplish today, there are some sports we're expected to win. Dream team in basketball. Mm-hmm. We lost to Spain that year. Everyone's like, crap, man, we lost to Spain. When it comes down to women's soccer, we're expected to win that game. And we did, 2-1. We're going to the semis. England already in. Italy and the Dutch will play. They're going to smoke it out. And then Germany and Sweden as well on Saturday. So we'll have those games. And we'll talk about the best moments you can weigh in. The number is 850-972-1945. That's 850-972-1945 to be part of the show. Talking about the most American pride moments from Jesse Owens and what he was able to do to win a gold medal with Hitler in the 1936 Olympics, or from Miracle on Ice, 1980 in Lake Placid, where it was bigger than just a win, but to beat the Soviets during the Cold War and what that meant. From the moments of, I remember watching this game too, and Jordan, you probably remember it as well, when Philadelphia and the New York Mets were playing in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And the chants of Team USA, when we found out that Bin Laden had been taken care of.
Piazza's walk-off home run after 9/11 against the Braves.
Yes.
That was another good one, yeah.
But the moments where you look at and you think about American pride moments, this one is just a win. But the United States, it is something where people get together, and if you can win, more people, I'd say 80 to 90% of the people rooting right now, are rooting for Team USA. I grabbed lunch today.
Yeah.
We were down there at Twin Peaks, and some good, John and all the folks down there. We're sitting there, and I'm watching the end of that game, and everybody's celebrating. Everybody's applauding. Everybody's having a fun time. And I remember watching that and feeling the celebration of the people that are United States fans, that are obviously fans of America.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a win for the U.S. women's team. It's a win for us. And right now we are the favorites. I hope we can go on to win. But that was a huge step. And it just goes to show you that if you can win and represent our country, whether it's beach volleyball, curling, like the guy that looked like the Mario brother, and not the skinnier version of Luigi, but the bigger guy, and or if it's going out there and having fun on a rowboat, or Joey Chestnut. I mean, there was 28,000 people in Coney Island, New York.
Jeez.
When he went out there and he beat a guy that was the champion from Japan. And he's able to go out there and eat more hot dogs in here. Like, what do you do better than this guy? Well, I can crush a couple more buns into this water right here. Like Joey Chestnut. You know how many calories, by the way?
A lot.
Do you know how many? By the way, folks, if you ever count calories, if you're at that point, you're either married. there's two things.
You're trying to get married, yeah.
There's two ways you count calories in your life. You either are trying to get on a diet, you're in a competition with your friends. You either are trying to gain more weight to try to bulk up for that look, or you're married. I mean, those are the four ways. I mean, I've never, before I was married, I was like, nacho cheese, yes, sir, steakums, here we go. But when you start counting calories, what Joey Chestnut eats in one of those competitions, 22,000 calories.
Jeez.
Now, to let you guys know, the daily index for how many calories you should eat is around 1,800 to 2,000. So he ate, just going to throw that out there, about 11 days worth of meals on those hot dogs. So it just goes to show we celebrate them and he just finished off 11 days worth of meals on hot dogs and buns. So congratulations, Joey. But you are the champion, and good to see. He was down here at Hooters. I interviewed him not too long ago. He was down there at the Hooters in Pensacola Beach. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty cool.
Did they have any wings left after he left?
No, they did not.
No,
but there was some breasts. Joey, no. But I'm telling you, it was a good win right there overall.
Right.
I love looking up. Once he won, I looked up like the winners of the best championships, and they were like, person that ate the most sushi, or the person. There is a world record for every single class. Yeah. Like person that has eaten the most wasabi, and I'm sitting there going like, that person's probably throwing up somewhere in a toilet right now. Like I had 7 pounds of wasabi last night, and thank you very much. I'm like, you weigh like 30 pounds. Be like, I haven't actually kept anything in my stomach in over 4 years.
Just wearing a diaper,
But I mean, everything they have, from like the hottest sriracha sauce to sushi to everything. But Joey Chestnut is the champion, and 2-1 victory today, as we took care of France. Looking at some of the other things going on right now, we talked about it. Police have arrested the, quote, mastermind of the David Ortiz shooting.
He's quoted as saying, "Go Yankees."
Authorities in the Dominican Republic. I'm going to do this as like a news story because I'm not buying it at all. Authorities of the Dominican Republic announced Friday that they have arrested the man behind the shooting of baseball great David Ortiz in the apparent case of mistaken identity. Police said Victor Hugo I can't even. This is completely fraudulent, people. Police said Victor Hugo Gomez was detained in the Caribbean county. No further details were immediately released. If you watch the video, a guy walks right up to David Ortiz and tries to shoot him. Now, they weren't trying to go for the other guy.
Right.
If you know, David Ortiz did something with somebody's family, and they wanted repercussions. And this guy may or may have not done something illegal. And he came after David Ortiz after he bought her a car.
Let's just be honest with the people. The guy let somebody else use his Netflix account in Tennessee, so he did something illegal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he is accused of. But to me, I would almost have less respect for this guy. Not like if you hire a hit on somebody, that's pretty sad. I mean, you're going down a path of life if you're hiring a hit that you obviously. You're going to be on one of those like chicken fried murder shows or something.
I almost made a comment, but he may have some.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
there,
yeah. Brittany was watching the Southern Fried Homicide the other day, and she was like, "Oh, this is good." Yeah, have you seen that?
That's the name of a show.
That's a show right now. That's pretty good.
God.
It's called Southern Fried Homicide, and they start off with a guy like roasting bacon and eggs on like an oven, and then like and the guy gets jabbed like a knife goes through him, and I'm like, what? The guy like I was all into this like omelet right here, and then all of a sudden,
like Redneck CSI? Is that what it is?
It's like Jim Bob came home what he thought was a good day of construction, and then the next thing you knew, Thelma wasn't having it.
Hey, Ricky. Hey, Connie.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing here?
We might have 7 kids. We might have 4 homes, but I ain't having none of this. The way he looked at her the other night, I'm like, so you murdered him? Like that was. So the thing with the show was, this is the perfect example of Southern Fried Homicide. What happened was, David Ortiz pretty much did something he shouldn't have with somebody else. And, we're not going to go too far into details. Because I feel like if we do at this point, like, we're on that list. So I'm just going to smile and go, hey, but read the stories you want on this. But I've already texted about 4 people today. They were like, man, they got the guy.
Yeah.
They got the guy that randomly.
Did they, or they just pick out a guy and go,
because the most historic, think about it. Think about America. Think about Michael Jordan. Think about LeBron James. Think about Ken Griffey Jr. Think about Tom Brady. Think about all these guys. There's a lot of people that hate them, but nobody would have the cojones to walk up and shoot them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope not. If they do, then, it's go to jail. And thank God. Praise the Lord for having a chance to where we have gone down a lot of paths in lives, but I'm so glad. I am so happy and so thankful that in sports today, that we have not watched something terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And God bless it. I mean, think about how many horrible things from Virginia to, every single day, South Carolina churches, Columbine would happen down in South Florida at the schools. We can go to everything, and there's awful things that happen in this country every day. There's wicked people. There's people that have bad hearts. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we are very thankful and praise in sports that we have not gone down the road of something awful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to put the bad mojo out there. But all I'm saying is when David Ortiz has somebody come up to his back pretty much at a bar, it wasn't an accident. Oh, well, my blinders. The guy. So you're paying a guy a bunch of money to completely miss a guy who's 6'4", 290 at a bar?
Yeah, here, let's give
who's Big Papi, who is the man, the icon.
Let's give
think about this for 2 seconds.
YouTube. All right, so we put it on the close-up of Chad. This is the view the shooter had of Big Papi's back.
Yeah.
You're telling me he missed the guy? No, he hit who he was supposed to shoot.
And if you're buying into this, welcome to America. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's man, can do some crazy things. But David Ortiz is my favorite player of all time. I love him to death. And I don't know the whole story besides that he loved some girl that may or may not have been somebody that had a lot of money, that may have done something, may or may have not done something illegal's wife, and he slept with her, may or may not have, but may or may have not bought her a car, may or may have not, even when he said to stop. There's all these things that went down this path. But you think for 2 seconds that he got flown down to Boston after this, after he was in the hospital with a bunch of things on his arm? He's got a bunch of wires and tubes and getting blood put into him for transfusions, and he had to rush to the Boston Medical, and everybody's like, yeah, because we love him, man. Or did he have to get out of the country?
It was, we got to get out of here. Look, we started this off, and one of the things we talked about was, good on the Red Sox for sending a plane down there. No, he called the Red Sox and was like,
get me out of here.
Yeah. The bleepity bleep out
I got
a
couple guys with guns coming at me right now. So for the folks that are reading this today, because I've had a bunch of, it's so good they found that guy.
I got some beachfront property in Oklahoma I want to sell you.
Yeah. So he is accused of ordering to kill his cousin, Sixto David Fernandez, authorities say. He was hitman confused Ortiz with Fernandez. This is the thing. You read the story.
Recognize him? Yeah. Okay.
Guy's 3 times his size, and you didn't. Look. If you're buying this story, you're what's wrong with society, because it's on the internet. It's got to be true, right? It's got to be true right here. It's like when a lobbyist says, like, Bill Clinton looked into a camera on national TV. I remember this. I was a kid that day. I remember looking into the camera.
Yeah.
ABC, because there was a basketball game going on that day, and it interrupts. I hate that, by the way. Like, this actually was very important to him to lie to the national world. But at the time, you think about it. There are moments where you're trying to watch your game, and every single channel is on a State of the Union, and you're sitting there going, imagine sitting there and watching. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And all of a sudden, there it is. Let's wrap this up.
Yep.
there it is. Jay, you also had a guy in O.J. Simpson that had a glove and smiled at the cameras right there. And, hey, look, it doesn't fit. The glove doesn't fit. Well, roll tide. I'm just talking. I shouldn't have that. But I'm just saying, it gets to the point. It just gets to the point where you realize that in life, just because someone's looking at a camera and saying something does not change the facts. Does not change. It's okay. O.J. Simpson played for USC, by the way. Had nothing to do with that. It reminded me of that commercial. Yeah, Virgin till she was 20, and then roll tide. Yeah, look, Alabama had nothing to do with the O.J. murders. I want to make that clear.
Oh.
But but what happened that day what happened with David Ortiz, when you're reading the story, because I'm so tired of getting emails today. Hey, your Boston guy's been cleared, man. Everything's good, man. They found the guy. They found the guy that shot you and that shot David Ortiz in the back, but he was going for his uncle clearly on that one.
So where's Big Papi if they got the guy? That's all I'm going to say.
Like, here's the thing. If you want to clearly, this is all I'm going to leave it before we get into more sports, more topical conversation. But you think a guy that is getting paid thousands in a spot that's not like this is not a parade. This is not an area where you got like a sharpshooter from Windows 7, but walks up at a restaurant and a bar with nobody else but people just jamming and walks right to the person's back, and they've got the ID of the person they are supposed to hit. and you think that they hit the wrong person? Oh, they hit David Ortiz, but they were trying to go, then this guy, we need to put this guy on a pedestal and say, you were the worst, the most horrific hitman in the history of the world. And you're going to tell somebody that actually paid this guy a bunch of money that they're the stupidest person in the world, too, for hiring this guy to walk to somebody's back who is 6'4", 270, and put a gun to his back when they're supposed to do the other guy. Let's take a break. But if you're reading this story today, and I get another text or email, because I've got about 50 of them today, they've taken care of it. Yep, they have. We're coming back for more right here on the Sports Drive.
You're in for a hilarious evening.
My New Year's resolution this year was to lose some weight and try to get in better shape.
Don't miss one of the top comedians from the world-famous Blue Collar Comedy Tour, Grammy-nominated funny man, Ron White.
And I was working out yesterday, and I hurt my fat.
For 2 shows only at Beau Rivage Friday, August 2nd.
I sprained my fat roll.
Visit BeauRivage.com for tickets. Must be 21.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents and Doug.
If I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up.
Did someone just say, if I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up? Ma'am, what if my partner, this wild emu, and I told you that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need?
I'd say sign me up for Liberty Mutual. And also, your emu is eating my tire.
Lemu! No. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents and Doug.
If I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up.
Did someone just say, if I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up? Ma'am, what if my partner, this wild emu, and I told you that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need?
I'd say sign me up for Liberty Mutual. And also, your emu is eating my tire.
Lemu! No. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
ESPN Pensacola has you covered from the national and local levels. From Golick and Wingo to the Sports Drive, the Paul Feinbaum Show to talk football with Coach K, we have it all. It's the latest and best in sports talk radio, making us Pensacola's hometown sports network. ESPN Pensacola 94.5, also on HD radio at HD2 98.7 WICT, and streaming online at our website at ESPNpensacola.com.
The year was 1919. Barbasol shaving cream was invented by a dreamer named Frank Shields. The world's first modern shave cream, Barbasol changed the face of shaving forever. A few billion shaves later, Frank's dream lives on. Behind every face is a dream. Barbasol proudly salutes every fearless, self-assured, wide-eyed dreamer all across America. Celebrating 100 years. Barbasol.
And welcome back. Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. I just got a call during the break that says from the Dominican Republic government that says, we're big fans of the show. We listen every day in Pensacola. That's what they do. And they said, you need to lay low. So, all right.
Funny, I got a text from OJ during the break. He said, roll tide.
Yeah. I don't speak Spanish. Like Will Ferrell. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what this is. I see these emojis with knife. Yeah. I don't know what this is, so I don't speak Spanish. Looking at some of the things going on, what would be the first American Pride moment for you, if you thought about it?
For me, I got to go with Miracle on Ice. I think that's because of like what you were talking about at the top of the show. It wasn't just winning the hockey game, a hockey game that people did not expect Team USA to even be in, let alone win.
You were negative 13? But were you, during that moment?
I think so.
Okay. That's about right.
Let's see.
Right.
What year did it happen?
1980?
1980.
Negative
11.
Negative 11.
Negative 11, yeah. But,
big moment.
But yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Remember watching it like it was...
No. Look, I was negative 5, so yeah.
But yeah, I think that the national implications of it with everything that was going on at the time, I think it meant more because of that, so I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah, I think some of the big ones right there. Pat Tillman, that was a big moment right there, the ultimate sacrifice when, a guy that played after the September 11th attacks, if you didn't know, he left and, was living the American dream.
Yeah.
Making $3-4 million a year, left the NFL to go take care of it and died in friendly fire. And a true sacrifice right there. Something that obviously didn't end in a good story, but is something where, not too many of us could ever do that. Think about that. Think about that today. If somebody said that you could have $3 million, whatever it is, sewing company, you were the one that thought of emojis on phones. Whatever it is, that'd be a pretty good job. Some guy, I'm sure that was Zuckerberg, but you get that. You made $3 million, but they're like, no. You need to take that and go overseas right now to Afghanistan. You'd be like, oh no, man, I got my grotto right now. I'm making a martini. Like a lot of people would look at that and say, no dice. I'm living the American dream. What we fight for. They might get on Fox News and be like, woo! All excited. But they wouldn't actually go to war if they didn't have to.
Yeah.
For what Pat Tillman did is something that very few, very, very, very few individuals, I've known a couple of them that are just diehard friends, that would, do anything for our country. But I would say less than 1%, obviously, but only a few individuals out of the 350 million people that live in this country would do what Pat Tillman did. And he did it on a national stage by leaving the NFL. Could have been $20 million by the end of his career. Think about the contracts today.
Probably could have been a Hall of Famer,
probably
too.
20, 25. He was a good player, too.
Yeah.
He was a very good player. He's a Hall of Famer when he was at Arizona State, and he was a very good safety when he was at Arizona. And just so sad to see that. That was one of them for sure. Philadelphia Philly fans celebrating the news of Bin Laden's death is definitely one.
Yeah.
I would put that on there. Muhammad Ali, the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
A most iconic boxer in the history of the world. Guy, 1960 Olympic gold medalist. And the situation right there, we're representing bringing back the games to Atlanta in the States, 1996. I remember I was 11 at that time, and I remember watching that moment. And Muhammad Ali, who dealt with Parkinson's, and just but just watching him, the icon that was, somebody that meant so much, because Muhammad Ali wasn't only that was an American pride moment. That was a world pride moment. Because he fought forever, for a long time. He had Malcolm X by his side. You had so many things where he fought for, changed his name from Cassius Clay to being Muhammad Ali, a Muslim name where a lot of people did not want him boxing. You know that there were over 500 different places during his career that told him to get the blank out of his door. And I'm probably saying that kind way. Color of his skin and other things during the 1960s. And I'm not going to, we're obviously an equal opportunity and always should be. And if we're still going in this path in 2019, is shame on you. But when it looks, Muhammad Ali, over 500 places that he tried to box in his career told him to get the blank out. So he went through. This was not a guy that was just getting a paycheck, even if it was a bum fight like Pacquiao and Mayweather for $100 million. This was a guy that was pretty much fighting for a lot of things, not just in the ring.
And I honestly don't think, I mean, I'm sure there's probably some people that argue this, but I don't think Muhammad Ali took any bum fights.
He didn't.
I think he took boxing way too seriously to allow himself to be a part of one of those fights. It's just basically a stunt show for money.
Oh, 100% true. Looking at some of the other things going on right now, who do you think has the toughest schedule in college football based on the wins of their opponents from 2018?
I'm going to go with Auburn because if you look at it, Oregon's a team that finished 8 or 9 wins. They've got LSU. They've got Florida in Florida. Mm-hmm. They've got Georgia. They've got Alabama. They've got a lot of tough games. They've got Texas A&M as well, obviously, because they're in the same division. So I definitely think Auburn's the toughest.
It's a very confident answer.
Yeah.
It was South Carolina. But
really?
yeah, it was South Carolina 106-50. And this could be a little misleading.
They've got
because
Alabama and Clemson, and then they play Florida and Georgia.
Yeah, but
so.
it could be if you take on Western Michigan after they finish 11-1, you're going to get a lot better looking record than, you know what I'm saying? That could be a little misleading. But South Carolina 106-50 is the record of their opponents. Second, Louisville, Tennessee, LSU, and Duke is the top 5. Duke's like, we get Alabama, and that stinks. They get Alabama and Clemson, so we're like, we're
Duke's like, we'll see you in week 2, guys.
You know, like pep rally.
Yeah,
we're like, we can do 10-2. Yeah, like, well, what? Don't we play 12 games, Coach Cutcliffe? Like 10-2.
Look around. Do you see Daniel Jones anywhere? Come on.
You have Clemson and Alabama. Let's just move on to the next. Yeah, Daniel Jones. He has a lot to prove too. Where everybody pretty much booed him as a bum when he got drafted.
His teammates with the Giants seem to really like him, though, especially Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's come out on the record and actually has told the media, said, look, guys are booing him right now, and you think it's a horrible pick, but trust me, in a few years, he's going to have 2 Super Bowl rings that he's been the starting quarterback of, and you guys are going to change your narrative on this guy.
And the media, we love to go ahead and talk about quarterbacks and what they should and shouldn't do.
Yeah.
But let's just be honest. If anything is off in life, it is the media's relation with the correlation of quarterbacks. And I know that sounds like I'm getting technical on you guys here, but when it comes down to it, think about it. Let's go through the boom, 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 boom. We'll put it through the system. Yeah, like that at the end, like some cat dying at the end of the okay.
Random noise.
Yeah, the cat just had to die for that system right there. Okay, here it is. Think about the quarterbacks. Let's start off with, let's just go ahead and throw out Tom Brady.
Okay.
6th-rounder from Michigan.
Right.
Next, Drew Brees. Not a top-tier looking guy from Purdue.
That's right, yeah.
Next, Aaron Rodgers. Guy that had a .500 winning percentage at Cal. And
had to transfer to Cal.
Had to transfer to Cal and did not go in the top 20 picks. Jordan, look at everybody. Sorry, I just, that was like a grandparent. Okay. Jordan. Yeah, but when it comes down to Carson Wentz.
Almost got in the quarterback
I was going to say, getting better watch yourself. Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
North Dakota. Not too many people are like, hey, honey, what are you doing today? Got to watch North Dakota versus the South Dakota Jackrabbits tonight. That's sorry. I know we were supposed to go to a concert, but I know the Beatles are doing their tour with Paul McCartney and all that, but Jackrabbits versus North Dakota State football. I got to watch this like nobody's ever said. So let's move on to the next one. How about Joe Flacco, Delaware Blue Hens, and Big Ben Roethlisberger, Miami of Ohio, and Tony Romo and Jimmy Garoppolo. How about Eastern Illinois representing? Everywhere you look, there's pretty much a quarterback that's not on the beaten path. That's the only ones that are pretty much, you got a guy like Deshaun Watson, who did. And you have a quarterback, even Matt Ryan went to Boston College. Think about it. Think about even there. It's not like every quarterback's from Alabama, Clemson, Florida, Florida State, Michigan, Auburn. They're not all from that school. So everybody that's out there thinking that these guys are just all from the same school, it's nonsense. These guys are proving themselves every single week.
And honestly, the schools you just named is the schools that we should be seeing every quarterback come from. really hasn't had success at the quarterback position at the NFL level.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for the folks out there that think that somebody can move up like a Daniel Jones from Duke, he was from Duke, and look how they did.
Yeah.
They got roasted by Virginia. Well, so did a lot of quarterbacks. I don't know if you put Big Ben's categories or what Tom Brady did backing up Drew Henson as a 6th-rounder at Michigan, or watching guys throughout their years like Patrick Mahomes. I like to put ketchup on a lot of things. I got a girlfriend here. I got Tyreek Hill, but he's been arrested. My running back out there, he's gone, and Kareem Hunt, he had a 1-2 punch, and then he punched. And, you got guys like Travis Kelce, he's awesome, but Travis Kelce's got a cooler hairdo than you got a guy in Patrick Mahomes who was a 5-7, 6-6 quarterback.
Yeah.
He was a 5-7. So think about that. Patrick Mahomes right now, skill-wise, right now, if you're starting a team, not for 1 year, because Chris Sims' roster, I just saw that was deplorable. But when it comes down to if you actually were going to pick a quarterback for the future to build your team, I think it's fair to say, Jordan, that you put Patrick Mahomes in the mix as your number one.
Right.
I think I honestly, to tell you the truth, I would take Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback number one if I'm building the future of my franchise. Because Tom Brady and Drew Brees maybe have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to see RP here soon. But Patrick Mahomes actually has another 10 years maybe if he stays at this level. Maybe 15, maybe 20. So remember, that was his first year as a regular starter. Alex Smith went to Washington and now is tripoding it on the wheelie cart. But I'm saying, I hope he gets better. I like Alex Smith. But when
Another guy went to Utah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to Patrick Mahomes, the MVP had a below 500 record at Texas Tech as a quarterback. And then you had a quarterback as well in Jared Goff, who was just in the Super Bowl, who was a below 500 quarterback at Cal. Mm-hmm. So don't act like that the guy, because Daniel Jones went to Duke, is going to be a bad quarterback. It's the one position where that doesn't add up. I'm going to take an offensive tackle from Alabama over an offensive tackle from Duke.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with that. But this guy just plowed through your wall, and the biggins up front is what creates what is the team.
Yep.
And if you have the big guys inside in college football, that's Georgia, Alabama, Clemson. Think about it. You take that Clemson defensive line, it's going to be very intriguing to see how they do. Losing Farrell, losing Lawrence, who didn't even play in the national title, losing guys all the way across the board. They lost 4 guys that were top-tier picks, 3 of them in the first round on the defensive line.
Right.
So it's going to be fun to see how good they can be to come back after that. But I'm telling you what, for the people that think that just because Daniel Jones went to Duke, that's why he's going to be bad.
Yeah.
You've never watched football then, because none of these guys are on that path.
And here's another thing with Duke and him playing at Duke. If he would have been at Alabama and he would have had the offensive line that Tua Tagovailoa had last year, he'd had weapons like Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley, like those type of weapons that Alabama has. Mm-hmm. He didn't have access to that at Duke. He still put up good numbers at Duke with what he had.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had top-level SEC, ACC type talent on the offensive line and at the receiver position. He would have put up his numbers. He probably would have been Heisman Trophy favorite.
Yeah. Think about Jimmy Garoppolo. Started his career 9-0.
Yeah.
Put Jimmy Garoppolo on that Alabama team instead of Blake Sims.
Yeah.
Or Jacob Coker.
Yeah.
Think about that. But
there's no quarterback battle. Yeah.
You petty fool. He went to Eastern Illinois.
That's
okay,
kind of our point. Yeah.
That's the whole point of this is if you put one of those guys around that system. Now that does not mean that in the pros that the system, because I think this can be counterproductive for me leaving work tonight and being like, oh, is that what you mean with Tom Brady? No, that's not the point here. Because when you get to the NFL, everybody's at the same playing field. You get the same draft picks. You have the same amount of money, cap, everything about it. So if you're trying to use that, the pros reference is completely different. Eastern Illinois is not recruiting like Nick Saban, so they're not putting so that's a completely different story. And if you bring that up to me tonight, I will fight. I'm just saying. But when it comes down to the situation with a quarterback, I think when people are like, Daniel Jones is going to be terrible, he went to Duke. Let's see him play. What I want to see is him look bad in a preseason game. I want to see him not look like that great player. Because what I saw in the bowl game was pretty decent.
Yeah,
Played Temple, the Owls. How about that?
And this was
it's a hoot to watch right there. Yeah.
And this was a guy going into the Senior Bowl. I remember talking to you. You were at Bob Tyler doing the show, doing Sports Call for myself and Davis as we were driving to Mobile for the Senior Bowl.
Yes,
and I talked to you, and I told you, watch Daniel Jones in the Senior Bowl. Ended up having a great day, won the MVP of that game, gets drafted 6th overall. And I'm like you. I want to see what he does when he throws an interception in a preseason game, and those New York Giant fans are booing him at MetLife Stadium. I want to see how he responds to that, because he didn't have to deal with that at Duke. Because even if he had thrown a pick six at Duke that would have lost them the game with 2 seconds left, those Duke fans wouldn't have booed him.
And think about, over the last couple years, quarterbacks that have thrived in the Senior Bowl. We had Jim Nagy down here the other night at Blue Wahoo Stadium. They were giving away some tickets and having some fun. And Jim actually joined us in studio for the show right there with the Wahoos, and also for the show right before the Senior Bowl. And I talked to him for a while off the air too. And there has been 7 guys that have won the MVP that have gone on to have huge contracts. Here are a couple names that have starred over the years in the Senior Bowl that weren't top-tier first-rounders. Aaron Donald, pretty decent. Number 1 defense tackle in NFL. Number 1 player, according to a lot of people. Talking about Carson Wentz. Talking about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was looked at as a 7th rounder when he went to the Senior Bowl.
A lot of people said he's going to move to tight end in the NFL.
Yeah. He goes to the Senior Bowl, gets drafted, I believe it was the 3rd, 4th round?
I think so, 3rd, yeah.
Okay, and he gets a shot. And he goes 11-1 to start his career. So not too shabby. He gets his chance, and now he is ranked as one of the better quarterbacks, and he's taking Dallas to the playoffs. You had guys like Carson Wentz, nobody knew, from North Dakota. I remember sitting there in a meeting, this guy with acne, big, tall, redheaded guy. Ginger walks in with like he had his girlfriend on his side, looked like one of those Mama and Papa Gustafson milk bottles. And I remember him walking in with his family. And the next thing you know, he is now he just made $81 million. I mean, he just made $81 million, and the Senior Bowl gave him a shot. So if Daniel Jones is winning the MVP around guys like Jarrett Stidham, there was a lot of good quarterbacks around him this year. And
Will Grier.
You had a lot of guys across the board. You had guys, I mean, the list went on of quarterbacks, and I'm trying to think, but there was probably 7 or 8 guys that were in that mix for top-tier guys, and he stood out.
Yeah.
He was the best player. So for the folks out there that are wondering why the Giants, the only thing that people can fault the Giants for is they probably could have got him with their 2nd pick. They had 2 first-round picks. So we're not saying that he's going to fail.
Take
we're
Josh
just
Allen
saying, exactly. You got You could have got an extra pick for that. That's the only thing. I mean, maybe the strategy of it. That's all I'm saying. But when we come back, we're going to talk a little more about the NFL right now, taking a look at the list of top quarterbacks and the most American pride moments right here on this Friday edition of the Sports Drive.
There are people who will make excuses, who quit the job when it's too hard. This is a story about people who believe in something different. A story about people who will conquer their dreams in 2019, who will not stop until the road ends. No more excuses this summer. It's Harley-Davidson of Pensacola's Push It, Pull It, and Drag It event. If it's got a VIN, Harley-Davidson of Pensacola will take it. Harley-Davidson of Pensacola, let's ride.
Experienced truck drivers. Are you searching for a company that will let you pick the kind of driving job you want? At Schneider, professionals personalize their careers by choosing from 38 different types of driving positions. That means a better career to fit your lifestyle. If you want even more choice, Schneider drivers can also choose from over 50 unique dedicated accounts. Enjoy experienced driver pay, the respect you deserve, and choices that only Schneider can offer. Find out for yourself at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Our Pensacola Wahoos are back for another season, and with the new season comes some fresh and new changes. Our Wahoos are now the new AA affiliate of the Minnesota Twins, and they have a new broadcast home here in Pensacola, right here at your hometown station for hometown sports, ESPN Pensacola 945. Catch all the Wahoos action from home and away with Chris Garagiola. Wahoos baseball presented by Denny's on the new official flagship station for the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 945 and ESPNpensacola.com.
Pensacola Beach isn't just a sun-soaked white sand paradise. It's also the best dance floor in 50 states. Every Tuesday night, the stage near the beach ball comes alive with great music you know and love. Bands on the Beach are free shows every Tuesday through October, and they're brought to you by the Santa Rosa Island Authority. This Tuesday, it's Johnny Earthquake and the Moondogs, the South's best-known and in-demand show band, high-energy rock, R&B, swing, funk, soul, zydeco, and everything. You'll love it. Join us for live music every Tuesday night at 7 for Bands on the Beach.
Paul Feinbaum here for the Southeast leader for cranes and equipment rental, Craneworks. The Craneworks team in Nashville, Birmingham, and Mobile is ready to make your next construction or maintenance project a big success. Give Craneworks a call for your next lift, machinery moving, or rigging project. And don't forget, RentalWorks has a full line of rental equipment for jobs both big and small. And now offering qualified operators for all equipment, including aerial and earth moving equipment. Call Craneworks at 877-282-LIFT or visit them on the web at craneworks.com.
There's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns, and that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there. We are broadcasters. Visit wearebroadcasters.com or text radio to 52886 to learn more. Furnished by NAB and this station.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here, 544 on this Friday evening. Thanks for joining us as always. At 6:35, we'll send out to Chris Garagiola and the Pensacola Blue Wahoos as they'll take on the Biloxi Shuckers, looking to get back on track after the tough game yesterday. Jordan, I'm telling you, the Wahoos are a team right now. A lot of good guys, too. It was fun. I got to meet them over there at Seville Quarter when they had the introductions with a lot of the players for season ticket holders. And a lot of times you get a lot of athletes that are a little bit more smug. I mean, they know they're going to be there. I mean, that's the demeanor. And a lot of them, when you get to the point where you're a superstar, you get it because everywhere you go, someone's like, "Psst, honey, I believe that's that guy. That's the guy. That's the guy." Like the one time over the last month where I've been called out, I've had people like, I like your show. I listen to your show. They know I got the spiky hair on TV, but I was at at Richie's Liquor, and I had like 15 bottles. I was doing a party. I was holding a party, and it was like 15 things of Prosecco and all these things, and the guy's like, "That's Chad, man." I was like, "Okay, hey everybody!" Like I didn't have any like news. Like, oh man, I can see why the show goes down. Like I'm like, listen, like that was the one time. Like that's the moment. It was no joke. But when it comes down to a lot of these athletes, like they're always called out, so they get it. They're in the spotlight all the time. They're used to dealing with that, and they have to deal with it on a 24/7 basis. But I think when you look at these Wahoos guys, they're not there yet. They haven't made the majors yet. Some of them, guys like Kirilov, are going to be the next big thing, just like what you saw Nick Senzel or those guys move up last year from the Reds. But I'm telling you, these are just good human beings. I've been down there. I know Davis gets to go down there and do Ride in the Pine with a lot of these guys. And, man, just watching a few of those, though, these are just good. They're just cool dudes. They just seem like really laid-back, awesome guys. And that's pretty cool to see.
It is, and I think that's a reason why this team has had the success that they've had so far throughout the year is because they're just a relaxed team. When things don't go right, they don't panic. They just say, all right, regroup, let's get back on track and continue to move forward. So I think the fact that they're relaxed plays a big part in the success that they've had so far.
Let's get to that right now with athletes that maybe have been a little more hyped in their careers. Okay. And some of them took a different path than others. I'm going to give you one, and then I'm going to give you another.
Okay.
And you tell me which one to you had a bigger hype sensation in sports.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's make this happen. All right. Freddie Adu, remember in soccer, he was supposed to be the next coming of Pele, versus Reggie Bush.
I'm going to go with Freddie Adu because he was supposed to be the next coming of Pele. I mean, that's big shoes to fill right there. I think with Reggie Bush, people were just excited about him because the way he played at USC in college.
And he had a free ride, too.
Yeah.
Brand new car in 32s. I mean, why not? All right, next one right here. Tim Tebow.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, I'm going to put her in a tough one right here. Danica Patrick. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, that's really tough. When I'm saying them and I know it's going to be tough.
I'm going to say Danica Patrick, not to be a homer because I'm a Florida fan and I don't want to call out Tim Tebow on this because I think there was a lot of people that looked at Tim Tebow and goes, yeah, he's not going to be a quarterback inside the NFL. So I think,
but then he did, and he made the playoffs.
He did,
I mean,
but that was just that 1 year. I think a lot.
But then
of
he
people
never.
just kind of.
Then he never got another shot. That's the thing, Jordan.
That's true.
I'm
not
going to sit here and argue with the facts that 6 of the 7 wins for comebacks. That there were a lot of airmail passes that hit the popcorn vendor in row 5. I'm not going to go through all that. But what I am going to tell you is there has never been an athlete in the history of sports that left their career as the main guy.
Yeah.
After winning a playoff game against the Steelers and then never got a shot again. Ever got a shot again to start. And that's what I'm saying. He went through a lot of preseasons. Remember, he tried to make the Eagles.
Yep.
Tried to make the Patriots,
yep.
The Jets. I mean, he went through all these teams trying to make a roster. But his last moment as a starter wasn't failure. It was winning a game against the Steelers and then getting beat by Tom Brady, as many people do in the playoffs. If you want to go through the quarterbacks that have gotten beat by Tom Brady and that's their last moment, well, I mean, just get rid of the whole entire NFL. I mean, at this point. But when you look right now, and I'm not sitting here to tell you, is this guy seriously thinking Tim Tebow is going to be? No, when they had a chance at Peyton Manning for the Denver Broncos did the right thing.
Yeah.
No, and if anybody, you love Tebow too much. You have too many. It's like my brother. He has paintings on the wall and stuff. You're doing like you just say, yeah. You're Tebowing right now. Listen to the show, right? Like if you really believe that Tebow should have stayed over Peyton Manning, that was after Peyton Manning was coming off an MVP season in Indy. The difference is we have never seen in the history of sports be like in baseball. Cody Bellinger, the season he's having, or some guy going out. Well, that's not fair. But I mean, some guy that's having a great season. Austin Riley for what he's doing for the Braves.
Not Chris Davis.
No.
Sorry.
Austin Riley, though, is batting .300, crushing the ball, and then the Braves just shipped him down to a single A, and he's never seen again. And you're like, this guy was pretty good, man. He was crushing home runs. What happened? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be like what Stephon Diggs did as a 6th-rounder for Maryland, having that season. Adam Thielen, those guys from Minnesota. And then just taking both of them and whoop, like throwing them to Canadian football. Nobody's ever heard of them. You're like, that just ruined my fantasy football league. Like, that's the thing is, Tim Tebow was in a position to continue to win, and he never got another shot. We've never seen that. I've never seen that. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying that he deserved to be praised as a top quarterback, but we have never seen a guy succeed at a level he did and never get a shot to prove himself ever again.
That's true.
I would still go with Danica Patrick.
Yeah, I still would too.
Let's go. All right, next one right here. Steven Strasburg, who's get cut in at San Diego State, remember? Throwing like a $104 against the Honey Badger in LSU.
I'm gonna go with Strasburger. I think he was supposed to be the next big pitcher. He was supposed to be the Tom Glavine, the Greg Maddux, the guy that was just gonna dominate baseball. If you were facing the Nationals and he was the starting pitcher when he first got into the major leagues, you weren't winning that game because he was just that good. And with Honey Badger, with Tyrann Mathieu, I think he was expected to be that good. I think he had some good years inside the NFL with Arizona, but I'm gonna go with Steven on this one.
Yeah, see, the Honey Badger doesn't care what you think because he's gonna take what he wants, so he's gonna take this one from you. I would agree, Strasburg, but the Honey Badger is like, don't care. That's what he did. Looking at the next one right here, Bryce Harper.
Yeah,
Bryce baby, versus Greg Oden in the NBA. Oh, this is pretty big right here. I'm not talking about the pictures he sent on his phone, but outside of that.
Let's see.
Larger than life off his phone.
Let's see. I'm going to go with Bryce Harper on this one because Bryce Harper's still playing. He got that expensive contract for the Phillies. He's not doing much with it. The thing with Greg Oden, a big reason for Greg Oden is why he's still not in the NBA.
Please don't use big reason for okay, continue. I'm sorry. Please continue.
I could have said something worse, but I'm going to hold my tongue. Just say he had some injuries, and that
he couldn't shoot straight.
Yeah.
He couldn't shoot straight. Yeah.
He had some injuries, and that cost him some playing time as well inside the NBA. So I'm going to go with Bryce Harper.
Not too many people could stay excited for Greg.
That's
right.
right.
All right, let's move on to the next one here. Sidney Crosby, Sid the Kid, versus Johnny Football.
Again, I think Sidney Crosby had some success, so I'm going to go with Johnny Football because he had 0.
Biggest hype athletes of the 21st century we're talking about right here in comparison. Let's go to our next one right now and take a look at, this is a good one right here. Michael Vick versus Andy Roddick. That is a good. We're not talking about the success. We're talking about the hype.
Yeah.
We're talking about SI magazines that had them in the front that were going to be the man. Andy Roddick was supposed to be the next coming of every Jimmy Connors, Andre Agassi, everybody that we expected to be the next great. Because think about the tennis players today: Rafael Nadal, and Roger Federer, and Novak Djokovic. None of them are Americans. So thank God for Venus and Serena, or right now the United States when it comes to tennis would just be like
the men's soccer
when
team.
Blake was trusting. That's what I'm saying. Like Andy Roddick was, and look, he got Brooklyn Decker, so he's kudos, sir. You might win. Good for you.
You got to go with the guy that was a 99 on a video game. I mean, you got to go with Michael Vick in this situation because if you're a 99,
you're going to bark up that tree.
You're overall 99. Your overall 99 on Madden, that's a lot of hype.
Yeah.
So
sounds like you and him are dogs. All right. All right. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation. Biggest hype athletes of the 21st century. Ryan Leaf says, "How about me, bro?"
No.
We're coming back. No, we didn't say biggest hyped pharmaceutical reps in the 21st century that went to jail. We're coming back for more right here on the Sports Drive.
It's almost time for Sertoma's 4th of July celebration in downtown Pensacola. Watch Old Seville Square come alive this 4th of July with free activities starting at 11 a.m., including a children's area with inflatables, rock climbing wall, pony rides, face painting, live entertainment, food, and much more. Don't forget the amazing fireworks show over Pensacola Bay at 9. Sponsored by Skanska with a perfectly synchronized music broadcast on Cat Country 98.7. Presented by the Law Office of J.J. Talbot. For more info, visit PensacolaFireworks.com.
Guys, the secret is out. If you want healthy sex, your body needs nitric oxide. And now you can boost your nitric oxide production faster than you thought possible with Ageless Male Tonight, the absurdly fast formula from the #1 brand in male enhancement. Just take 1 capsule an hour before romantic activity. You'll get clinically tested ingredients that rapidly boost nitric oxide production, and it won't go unnoticed. Rush to Walmart and get Ageless Male Tonight.
He was a star quarterback at Pensacola High, played alongside Gator great Steve Spurrier, and rose up the ranks to become head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Now, he's talking football on ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Coach K brings football to life year-round. The teams, the players, and the front office. Talk football with Coach K every day at noon on your radio. And Coach K live on Facebook and YouTube at ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're hitting 200 at the plate for the Pensacola Blue Wahoos, life isn't that great. But if you're hitting up 200 before the Wahoos games, things can't get much better. 200 South is your Blue Wahoos pre-party destination. Grab an ice-cold draft with the best selection in town at World of Beer. Relax in the most hoppin' spot at Blend Lounge. Or grab a quick bite to eat at Graffiti Pizza or Taco Aguave before the game. 200 South Palafox in downtown Pensacola. Peanuts and Cracker Jacks are all right, but a slice and an ice-cold draft, now that's a home run.
You can always count on Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Always crisp, always easy drinking, always just right. perfect balance of flavor and refreshment since 1903. Welcome to the High Life. 2019 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. Thanks for joining us here on this Friday evening, June 28th, as we get set to go here for Blue Wahoos baseball at 6:35. They'll take on the Biloxi Shuckers, and we'll have that game for you right here on your home for Blue Wahoos baseball, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Also excited, right around the corner. Now we count down only 2.5 months, actually less than that, about a month and a half away from the start of college football season. That is, Jordan, about one good Johnny Manziel hangover from our chance to watch college football.
Yeah, that's about the right length of the time, and I could probably give you. Let's see, I think we're exactly right at 50 days until the start of college football season. Yeah.
It's half of 100.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, folks. Looking at moments in sports that we can't believe actually happened. You talk about upsets right there. And this has been a week of probably the expected. Vanderbilt wins the College World Series. You have U.S. beating France today in the Women's World Cup and getting into the Final Four, 2-1. Nice win right there. Megan Rapinoe getting it done again. She stood, by the way, for the national. I was watching that. We were making sure. I mean, so good for her. But we'll get to the moments in sports that you can't actually believe happen. We'll get to more on college football news and notes right there. The number one overall player, you're not going to believe where they're thinking of heading. And talking more on some of the big things happening today in Major League Baseball with the All-Star Game right around the corner. It's all coming back right here on the Sports Drive.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.
Those up the middle. At the 40. Derek Brooks 30. Brooks to the 29. He's getting Derek Brooks all the way. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Derek Brooks, the dagger's in. We're going to win the Super Bowl.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket, and this time his name is Bubba.
Pitch on the way. Russell drives one in the air. Deep left center. That's back near the wall. It's got a chance. Grand slam. Grand slam, Addison Russell.
The new WNBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
And Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? Bama scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trent Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And these them Louisiana, Pensacola guys, they looking crazy and all that.
Morris, blocked by the tight end call. That opens up the door. Breaking the coverage tackle. To the pylon. Touchdown.
Really nice effort there by Alfred Morris, extending that ball over the goal line.
Near side ball is that big game. Doug Baldwin's got a first down. Doug Baldwin, 93 yards, now has back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Reggie Evans, and he's going to get an ovation. Guy from Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. Chad Berliante alongside Jordan Glass having some fun with you here. 850-972-1945 is the number to be part of the show. Got like 15 pieces of paper over here, Jordan. You see this? If anyone's watching right now, by the way. None of this has anything to do with today. I could just like toss this up in the air. You know, Jim Rome is, I always wonder if some guy, he has a paper guy. And this looks important, but I'm going to do exactly what he does. But he's like, I don't like this story. And he throws it, you know. Just
into the printer.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Not a bad shot right there. But, you know, it comes down to all these pieces of paper over here are relevant to the actual show. We have a lot to get to on the show, though, today. We've had some fun already. And Megan Rapinoe takes care of it. Look, can we get over it? She posed after she made the second goal. What she did is just drop a huge boom right in your face, France. You know, she just craped you in a way where, think about it. It was one of, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You squeeze out those, you can do what you want with that. But I'm telling you what, we UB40'd you in a big way. And I'm telling you, it was one of those kind of moments where, you know, when we went up 2-0, we had owned it, and then they called offsides. Did you watch it? By the way, we scored. It was 3-0. It was.
I actually was. I had lunch at Doghouse Deli downtown. Okay. So when I walked by,
good dogs, by the way.
Yeah. When I walked by World of Beer, they had it not only on their TVs, but they were blaring it over their outside speakers. You know how when they have the little parties downtown, they put music out over those. They had it blaring. So if you were in the vicinity of World of Beer, you could hear what was going on.
I mean, they scored a goal and they called it offsides, which it wasn't.
Yeah.
Now, the replay on Fox was very American-esque, meaning it was like the person was winding up to kick, and they showed, like, the line. I'm like, she hasn't kicked the ball yet. Like, so that's not. But it still was, it wasn't offsides. We went up 3-0. They didn't count it. It was 2-0. Then France comes right down, scores. Next thing you know, we win the game. But it was 2-1. We end up winning, and we'll move on. England and the United States are in. You know, but I would say, what is if you had to be honest with yourself right now, this isn't about trying to make people cuddly and feeling good right now. What do you think is the percentage of people that care about United States women's soccer and the percent of people that care about United States women's soccer owning some more American pride?
That actually care about the U.S. women's national team?
I'm going to go 80-20. And I think that's fair. And I'm not being – this isn't like – that's not –
I was going to go 85-15. So, yeah.
Because if someone's out there going, how dare you? Okay, you walk up to 10 people on the street and you ask them who Megan Rapinoe is, who is actually the star.
Yeah.
But you walk up to 10 people randomly, and we don't get to, like, you just spin around. Don't spin them. Especially on like a Friday, you might get drunk. But, you know, if you go ahead and just pick 10 people in the street and ask them who Megan Rapinoe is, you'd be lucky to get 2. So I think I'm highballing that.
Look, I made the joke earlier at the top of the show when we were talking about people not knowing who was on the team.
Yeah.
And I made the joke about how Hope Solo played a great game today. I legitimately had somebody ask me when the tournament
Kenobi?
I had legitimately had somebody ask me, said, is Hope Solo hurt? Why isn't she playing? And it's like, she's not on the team anymore,
she's
bro.
Done.
Yeah.
And after her comments to SI,
well,
she's also had her mouth like that.
Yeah.
What's the show, Handmaidens?
She's the girl that if she comes up to you in the bar, you go, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just
you used to be really good looking, but then you open.
Yeah.
But look, listen. I'm just saying, You know, if you were offended by that last comment, if I was like, you looked really good until you opened your mouth, that had nothing to do
with
that.
She was female.
She is just a horrible person. Just look back at some of the things she has said, and then get back to me on that. You know, like that's not like. Listen, I'm more than anything. I have dated.
She's done. She dated a guy in the NFL. She beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
An NFL football player. She beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
We heard that. Hope Solo's involved in a domestic abuse allegation, and we're like, oh my gosh, who's beating her up?
Yeah.
Who's she dating that's beating her up? And then no, the story comes out she's beating him up, and he called the cops on her. Yikes.
Yeah, she's we call that a clown boot. And I'm telling you, it is someone, she is just the kind of person, though, where I remember in college, first got to college, and I thought I was like, man, I struck out with this one girl, and probably so. Her name was Kate Upton. She went to UCLA. I'm just kidding. That would have been a fun story, though. But Kate Upton was there at the same time I was there. But when it was the situation with this girl that I thought it was like, I was like, man, this is awesome. And then we had a conversation at dinner. And the conversation was like, oh my gosh. And it didn't go further than like, can you see, like, I wanted to like be like 1, 2, be like the count, like 3 silverwares on our table. Ha ha ha. Like she did not know what was going on. It was very embarrassing. And I realized at that point that personality, and having a conversation with people is very important. Yeah. I got a wife that's smarter than I am, and the thing is, like, it's not saying much, but I mean, at the same time, you get to a point where you realize that personality means something. And Hope Solo might be on the cover of a lot of magazines, but when she talks, she just makes everybody else want to hate her that much more. And I liked her playing goalie. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say at this point. I liked when she was in goal. And we were like, yeah! But when she opened her mouth, it was really bad. And if you're listening to this being like, this is pretty harsh, like go back and read. Just Google Hope Solo and some of the things. Like she sent people to jail for completely fraudulent things they've done. Yeah. When she actually beat some guy up and then sent him to jail. Imagine that. Like imagine like exactly. Like, imagine like you're walking with somebody tonight, like on a date. Like, honey, you want to do chicken parmesan's great. You get clubbed in the back of the head, and then you get called on. Like the cops come flying up here. You're like, oh, thank you. Thank God this person's going to arrest you. And then they put you in cuffs. Like, that happened. So like, and think about the person that did that. You would ever be like, well, that's a horrible loser. It's Hope Solo. So think about, she's a pretty terrible person. Yeah. It doesn't get much worse. But from American Pride standpoint, she's off the team, so we can root for everybody on that team.
There you go.
And it was a good win tonight, 2-1 against France. We're going to win the World Cup. I saw that game today. France, England, and Germany are the 3 teams that are going to stay in the way, and France was right there in the mix. I think that England has the second best team. Germany's right there, but I think it's ours to lose. It is our World Cup to lose. After watching that today was the first game that was at a later time that I got to watch pretty much the entire game.
Yeah.
And we clearly look like the best team out there because France, the home country, was supposed to be with us, and they weren't. It wasn't even close.
And that was the way it was the game before that, too, against Spain. And I think every game that Team USA, yes, they started off with 13-0, and that was a big win and kind of sparked the momentum for them. But I think a lot of people also kind of were starting to notice that this team, they were in charge. I don't want to say they dominated because there were a couple of games that they just won by 1 or 2 goals, but they were in charge of every game that they've played in so far in this World Cup. So I agree with you. I think that if Team USA is not holding the trophy at the end of the World Cup, it's because they let another team beat them. Another team did not beat them. Team USA did something in the game, whether it was just a bad move, a bad shot, or just not paying attention or not covering the right person.
All right, let's get to a little of Canada's favorite segment here, a little Q&A. Here we go. Let's take a look here at some of the headlines, and you tell me which one of these is not true, or you actually pick which one of these is true. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The category. Wade Boggs hit over 300. He was a Gold Glove third baseman. But according to reports, on a road trip across country back for the Boston Red Sox, that was 5 hours, he drank how many beers? Was it A, a six-pack? A six-pack. Was it B, 24, around a case?
Mm-hmm.
Was it C, 67 beers? Or D, I don't drink that crap, I only drink bourbon?
I want to say, I've always been told on a Scantron test like this, when you have multiple choice, you take C. So I want to say 67, not just because of that reason, but that also sounds correct.
Were you the guy who just would pencil in C? It actually is correct there.
I will admit.
It's funny how the brain works that way, because I usually do in these things write in C.
No, that was actually going to high school in the state of Florida. You had to, and if you're a high school student, you're about to cringe at this word, but you had to take the FCAT test.
Yeah.
And one of the tips was if you get stuck on an answer or you don't know it, pick C. Like for whatever reason, I don't know. That was just kind of like a trick that was taught to you. So yeah,
cool.
I was always just pick C.
My parents put me in a Tomcat test. They put me in a plane, and then I came back. I found them, and he failed. He came back. He was thought he was in a different country. I was in the they called it a Tomcat. Guys, they just packed bags in the back of a military plane and flew me away. And then I came back. I guess I thought I passed. They said I failed. I showed up at the door. Looking at the just kidding. I love my family. Looking at the things going on right now. We love a good tennis volley. The longest point in tennis history took A, I don't care. B, 6 minutes. C, 3 hours. Or D, 29 minutes.
We talked about this yesterday, so I'm not going to get it wrong. It was 29 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah.
29 minutes. God, that's a lot of time. Just a half hour. Think about that.
We get it.
Yeah. Think about like one of your shows right there, like Modern Family or one of those Sports Center shows. 30 minutes. That whole entire show is one volley. Today, if you watch tennis, you're lucky to get a volley with the serves. I mean, the serves is 29 minutes. All right. Looking at, as we move on here, which one of these following things is not true in baseball? Roger Maris, the home run king, pre-steroid era, was never intentionally walked when he hit 61 home runs. Doc Ellis pitched a no-hitter on LSD. Royal All-Star George Brett once pulled out a bat at a drive-thru because the guy didn't supersize his fries. Or D, former Cubs closer Turk Wendell wore a necklace with 16 Jungle Cat teeth.
D, because it wasn't actually 16. It was a different number.
Yeah, I used that back in the day, and you have a good memory, but it actually was 16 teeth, and it was George Brett. So I actually used 9 before and conned you into it.
Okay.
George Brett did not pull the bat out to say super size.
Oh,
yeah. This is a revert back. I have a list of things. You can see his paper has been like eaten by a tiger shark here. This is pulled this back out for days, as we get done with the show. And, most of these people have never heard this.
Right.
And they did not know this has been, like, completely eaten by some kind of animal here.
Just hold that up one more time.
Yeah,
just let me get all the
answers
answers
here. You go, yeah. You can see this piece. If you're watching on TV, this piece of paper has been, it looks like it has been, like, in some type of war.
And it's like a cloth, too,
Yes.
now. It's been crumpled up so much. It's soft like a cloth.
From 1970s.
Yeah.
My grandfather gave me this sheet, too. All right.
It's
As the final
papyrus,
one
not
here.
paper.
Which one is
Yeah.
not a real mascot? Wichita Corn Jerker, the Butte County Pirates, Yuma Criminals, Arkansas School of the Deaf Leopards, or the Minnetonka Dice Rollers?
The Arkansas School for the Deaf Leopards is the best.
That is the
mascot
best name ever, yeah.
And the great thing about it is real.
They had the Deaf Leopards play at one of their games, and the kids
Yeah.
were like, "I don't know what's happening." I'm just kidding. That was not right. That was me.
I want to say it's the Yuma Criminals, but at the same time, you think about the history of Yuma and the Old West, so that could be possible, and maybe their mascot would actually be like a bandit cowboy or something like that.
You've had family that have been corn jerkers. I actually do have a relative that was a corn jerker in Wichita.
Okay.
He graduated with a 4.1. Doesn't that sound horrible? But that's a true statement right there. Like, that is, my son is a proud corn jerker. I mean, imagine that bumper sticker. That is I'm going to give you that one away. That is a true school right there.
Yeah.
Wichita Corn Jerkers.
I want to say it's the Butte Pirates or the Butte.
No, the Butte County Pirates are right. That guy was clever. He was
Yeah.
laughing when he made that name. And they made sure to put county in there to make it sound like they're playing games. But if they were just the Butte Pirates, but it is in Idaho. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they thought, like, we're just gonna throw county in here and everybody's gonna laugh.
Think it in your head, and then somebody says it out loud, and it's just 10 times better when somebody says it.
Yeah. Imagine how many.
I'm gonna go with the Yuma Criminals.
No, Yuma Criminals, and that's the sad part too.
Yeah.
Is there's a school. That's why when we have shows upon shows, national TV about the Washington Redskins. The Washington Redskins, now that they're the Haskins, but when you have the Washington Redskins, we have show upon show. But there is a high school in Arizona named the Criminals, and we have no problem at all. Like, that's just what it is right there. Donald Trump's probably like, those are people across the border. Like these.
Now, is their mascot like a cowboy? Is it like throwing back to like the old cowboy days, Criminals like that? Or is it...
No. Don't try to like pull this in as like some
I'm
like
not.
rap music. No, it's a direct criminal. I mean, this is a convict. Like these kids. I wonder, like for like school show like Spirit Day. Like, ladies and gentlemen, we have picked 5 of our finest students to represent our mascot here today. We have a murderer, a rapist. Over here, we have somebody that has committed many multiple crimes, a 9-time habitual offender of DUIs. Like, well, like, boo! Like, no, sir, no, please applaud. All right, like you're not getting the point of what this is. Like,
a joke comes to mind with those that you were naming off right there. It's a Steelers player, a Patriot player.
There you go. My son was a criminal.
Into a bar. Yeah.
There you go. It is actually the Minnetonkan Dice Rollers. Yeah, there is no school that legalizes some guy with craps. We were actually the MCC Hustlers. No joke. We were Melbourne Central Catholic Hustlers, and I'm a decent artist. Don't look at this piece of paper, but I'm a decent artist, and I actually drew a picture of a guy that looked like Dave Wanstead. So picture Dave Wanstead. You know who he is, right?
Yep.
Okay, like sitting with his hand on his side, like Nick Faldo, with a pool stick and a bag of cash at a pool table. So I had like a guy that looked like, like bow chicka pow wow, sitting there along a pool table with a bag of cash as a hustler. And they did not go for it. They went with a B instead, a hustler B. The B ended up winning the award for Melbourne Central Catholic. But it was mine apparently did not fit the mold of a Catholic school and what they were trying to accomplish with the guy trying to hustle people out of cash at a pool table. But overall, I'm saying there are enough. Polka Dots is a good one, by the way.
Yeah,
we got the Laurel Hill Hobos right down the road. By the way, that's not too far from here. And I just think that if high schools are able to, there was a school in Illinois called the Big Blacks. I'm just going to throw that out there. What did that guy say in there? No, that is a school with the Worthington Hookers. Mm-hmm. There's a school with these names. You can Google them before you're like, well, you can. But I'm just saying, kids are graduating from these schools with diplomas. There's a mom that says, I am a proud hooker. There is, and this sounds horrible, but these are all truth. We're speaking the truth to you today. Sometimes you don't want to hear it.
My daughter's a proud hooker.
That's a bumper sticker.
Oh, my
Worthington. Look it up. Google this. So until they change it, don't get mad at us for speaking the truth of a school. This isn't like some kind of T-shirt at Spencer's Gifts. All right? It's a school. Get rid of these names. Like I want to be like there's consultant jobs out there. People get a lot of money to consult people. Yeah. They come in and like, I don't like that kid's book right there. You should, instead of a turtle, you should use an armadillo. Thank you guys. Pay my check right here. Like, well, that's cool. I like Army the Armadillo. I love it. Like people get paid. But somebody should just consult schools, be like, bop, hey, look at me. Bop, bop, like they're like 2 years old. Be like, get rid of your name, bro. Like, why do you have these names like criminals and hookers and things like that as school names? And if you think this is outrageous on here, then call the school, because we're just naming high schools that have these names. Arkansas School of the Def Leopards is cool. I like that one right there. But the Boot County Pirates, Corn Jerkers sounds weird, but I mean, but I'm telling you, if the Yuma Criminals and Worthington Hookers can get away with this,
I gotta look this up.
Yeah, these are 100% true.
Not that I don't believe you. I just want to see it for myself.
I'm gonna keep you on until we go to break. We're gonna go ahead and go to break.
Okay.
We're gonna get to more on the United States winning the World. Getting ready to win the World Cup. Is anyone watching this on TV? By the way, do you see what I'm holding right now for no random reason? Mini bunny in my hand. We're coming back for more.
Lord Jesus,
they're real. Told
real.
you. Coming back for more right here on the Sports Drive.
And local every Saturday from 11 to 1.
This Toronto Raptor team deserved this championship because they played their butts off in the series.
Sports Call with Jordan Glass and Davis Allen on your radio, on Facebook, and YouTube.
Hey, maybe you played for losing teams growing up. You just maybe don't understand what it's like to be a champion like this. But guess what? Whenever you are the best team in the world, you're going to let everyone know you're the best team in the world.
At ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
When I started having trouble reading and threading a sewing needle, I went to the ophthalmologist right away. I have AMD, age-related macular degeneration. It's the leading cause of blindness in people over 60. I'm getting treatments now, and my vision is better. I also called the Foundation Fighting Blindness to learn how to prevent and manage AMD. Call the Foundation Fighting Blindness today at 1-800-BLINDNESS for helpful information on AMD. That's 1-800-BLINDNESS.
Join the fun this weekend at Harley-Davidson of Pensacola. It's the Alzheimer's Mason a Difference lunch with 3D eats and tea. Half the food will be donated back to the cause. Plus, a bounce house for the kids and Harley's Angels with free beer. June 30th, it's Sundays on Sunday. Take a break from the heat with a free ice cream sundae. Keep up with all the fun this summer at PensacolaHarley.com and on Facebook. Harley-Davidson of Pensacola. Let's ride.
ESPN Pensacola 945 is locally owned by the ADX Communications Group. That includes News Radio 92.3 and AM 1620, Cat Country 98.7 and 1330 WEBY 99.1 FM. This means that we have the staff, the experience, and the generators to get you through the storm before, during, and after. We care, and we're ready because we're local. ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
Hey, this is Cole from Commander Air, and we're your local Daikin Comfort pros. Trust is hard to come by these days. At Commander Air, we have over 54 years of building and earning your trust. From each trained, certified technician to the state-of-the-art Daikin units we install, Daikin systems come with a trustworthy 12-year parts warranty. Commander Air has 3 generations of trust built on dependability, knowledge, and outstanding service. Come check out our new AC showroom at the intersection of Highway 29 and 9 Mile Road. Commander Air, your hometown heating and cooling specialist for 3 generations.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. Chad Berliante with you here. Jordan Glass, thanks for joining us on this Friday evening. 6:24 out there. If you're looking for something to do tonight, I know down at the beach, Colt Ford's going to be out there. Right?
He is, yeah. He's going to be out there at Flounders, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. And that intro music right there kind of sounds a little bit like music he would play.
Isn't he like a rapper?
He's like a country rapper. Yeah, he sings a little in the songs, but there's also parts where he'll break it down and give you a couple of lines.
Yeah. He looks straight country. I've seen. Yeah,
he does. Yeah,
I saw that. I was checking.
Yeah.
I was going to say does not look. Don't look. There's no teardrop tattoos.
Chloe Chanel about there as well. So
okay,
I know she's got a lot of fans here in the area, being from Milton. So she'll
that's
be
going
out
to be
there
a lot
as well.
of fun. Yeah. I will be out at Colt 45 tonight.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, never mind. It's going to be. Never mind. Don't. I have an alias, but by the way, during the break,
down from Worthington Middle School.
By the way, you saw what I was talking about during the break.
I saw it, and it's even worse because it's not a high school; it's a middle school.
It's a middle school. The Worthington Hookers. I mean, but yeah, let's move on. I feel like I've disgraced what sounded like but like if you've listened to this show over the last I've been in this market now for 7 or 8 years hosting drive time shows, and people are like, oh, what this crap. But the thing is, that was probably one of the worst. Like, I listened to that segment and I was like, man, I feel bad for what I said on air. And I've said things like Freddie Freeman takes BJ Steep and unloads on Estrada, and I'm sitting here going, and it was against the Blue Jays, by the way, folks. UConn Husky women beat the Lady Cox in South Carolina. But when it comes in, and they were large and in charge, penetrated deep in the lane, but they couldn't finish. 91-69. But when it comes down to that segment right there,
I was going
to say he would. But when it comes down to that right there, I almost felt bad saying that. And they're the names of the high schools.
Yeah.
And a middle school.
A middle school, yeah.
This kid's smiling with like pictures of like, they're eating Cheez-Its and smiling with hearts and rainbows and proud hooker mom on there. I was like, this is not right. Let's get to some of the things going on right now. We've got
it's like Jodie Foster's character in Taxi Cab.
Major League Baseball. If you could pick one team to win it right now. I'm going to tell you right now, if you got some cash or for entertainment purposes only, Monopoly money with Professor Moneybags, just put it on the Dodgers. I mean, I'm not saying this is they're guaranteed, but I've watched enough baseball, and I've been pretty solid. We picked Vanderbilt to win it all. Not to say that was going on a limb, but there was 8 teams, and they were all good, and we picked Vanderbilt at the beginning, so we're on that. I'm 5-0 in my last 5 years of picking teams in college football with Take It to the Bank with over-unders. And I'm telling you right now, when I say these things, it's because I've done enough research, and I do. When last night, Real Housewives of New York was on. That was a horrible episode right there. It was like a Christmas episode. But I was watching the baseball game, and I'm watching the Dodgers, and they're trailing against Colorado. And they start tapping the Rockies out there in Colorado, there's not much you can do. I mean, they start crushing the ball, and they got right back in it. But they've got 6 or 7 left-handed sluggers with Bellinger, who is the MVP right now. Yelich and Bellinger are the 2 best players. Mike Trout's in that mix as well. But really, it's Bellinger, Trout, and Yelich, and then everybody else playing in baseball. I know the Yankees have some injuries, and guys like Mookie Betts and J.D. Martinez, they can always. But those 3 guys are the best players right now in baseball. And all of a sudden, you have Muncy and Verdugo and Peterson and Seager when he's healthy. He's hurt right now. Or Justin Turner, full-size leprechaun. And all these guys are crushing it. And every one of their pitchers, Hyun-Jin Ryu, has the best ERA in baseball right now. And you've got Clayton Kershaw, who's still looked at as one of the top 3 pitchers in the game. And Walker Buehler, a guy from Vanderbilt that could throw 100. And you got all these guys, and that team is loaded. And they've made the last 2 World Series. They've lost to a hot Houston team and a hot Red Sox team. But I'm telling you right now, they're probably the favorites right now to win. But LA's going to win the World Series this year. I'm just telling you right now. We mark that on your calendar. The show is archived. LA's winning the World Series.
Okay. All right. I don't know about World Series, but I will give you my ALCS, my NLCS. I think the ALCS is going to be, I think it's going to be Minnesota and Houston from the American League. And then for the National League, the Dodgers are going to be there.
Sorry to shake my head on that.
Well, I was going to go with Yankees, but I figured you would like that even less.
Minnesota's a very good baseball team, but I think when it comes playoff time, their pitching staff is going to be like the guys like
happen,
you sort of throw out records and you know when you get to postseason, the aces show up. Like I don't see Jake Odorizzi versus like David Price is like a game they're going to win. You know what I'm saying when it comes to playoffs.
And for me, when I say Minnesota, it's mostly play into the hometown feel of the Blue Wahoos. They're being our big league affiliate. It would be nice to see them do that and maybe have a nice
Mitch
little
Garver,
a nice little Wahoo watch party for them here in Pensacola. But I think at the same time, we always have that one team in Major League Baseball that nobody really expected to be in that position at the beginning of the year. I think that's going to
Minnesota
this year.
Okay.
So
they're doing an incredible job right there, and I hope they do, and it's going to be a good season. And they lose the Red Sox, and we win another World Series. But overall, I'm saying just the Dodgers are playing at a level that's extremely. I've not seen a team play this great a baseball over a span. They're crushing the baseball right now, and it is fun to watch. Tonight, Chris Garagiola, the Blue Wahoos. If you're looking for something tomorrow, by the way, Pensacola Billfish Tournament, big game fishing right there. They're going to be down at the Yacht Club, so if you want to watch some cool fish getting weighed in, tomorrow at the Yacht Club, it is open to the public. Get down there. At 5 o'clock it starts, the Pensacola Big Game Fishing Club. All the boats are going to come off. You have a chance to watch the marlin and all the wahoo and dolphin and everything getting weighed in right there at the docks. It's going to be an awesome time. So looking forward to that. And a lot of things happening this week. Enjoy the rest of the week, Jordan. I'm looking forward to the sports call tomorrow.
It's going to be a lot of fun, yeah.
All right. For Jordan Glass, I'm Chad Brillante. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy some Blue Wahoos baseball as they take on the Biloxi Shuckers. 6:35 first pitch with Chris Garagiola. Thanks for listening as always, and God bless.
We are back, and we are looking at a pretty lopsided match.